Good morning, friends. Welcome to another impactful session in the Principles of Management lecture series with Professor Dr. D.V. Murthy, PhD. Today, we dive deep into the Module 14, Communication, the very lifeline of effective management. This module is brought to you by our channel, B School Dr. D.V. Murthy, PhD Official, an initiative of Ramadevi Foundation, Hyderabad. And it is presented by Professor Dr. D.V. Murthy, PhD, Management. Whether you are a manager, an inspiring leader, or a student of business, mastering communication is the key to success in the workplace. From formal memos to powerful public speaking, from virtual meetings to everyday team coordination, communication builds clarity, trust, and results. In this video, you will learn the concept, the process, and the types of communication, how formal and informal networks shape decisions. Real-life examples and case studies from Indian and global organizations, and also tips to become a powerful communicator and active listener. Let's unlock the most essential function of leadership, effective communication. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. What this module covers. It covers concept and nature of communication, types of communication, formal and informal communication networks, barriers to effective communication, and of course with real life examples and case studies. The learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will understand the meaning and purpose of communication in management, identify different forms and channels of communication, learn how communication flows in organizations, discover strategies to overcome communication barriers, and analyze real-world cases where communication was key to success or failure. Let's look at the concept and nature of communication. Communication is defined as the process of transferring information, ideas, and understanding from one person to another. The purpose is to facilitate coordination, decision-making, motivation, and control in an organization. The nature of communication is all continuous and dynamic, and it involves sender, message, medium, receiver, and feedback. Of course, it can be either verbal or non-verbal mode. Let's look at the elements of the process of communication. It starts with the sender of the message. Message get encoded. Then it is sent through medium, and receiver receives, decodes it, and sends a feedback. And of course, in between, there may be noises, meaning barriers. For example, a team leader sends a project update via mail. If the receiver misunderstands due to jargon or distractions, that's called a noise. Look at this picture, a simple diagram here. The communication process. It's in the transmission phase here, as I have discussed. This is the message getting encoded, sent through media, can be either verbal or non-verbal mode, whatever. and it is decoded and it will be received and the message is understood. Again, the sender will be encoding it and selects the media to choose and decodes and again sends, and the receiver again is a decoding phase here, and the sender receives it and it is the message. It's a complete feedback loop. That's why it is transmission phase and feedback phase. And in the entire process you will have these noises, very many noises of misunderstanding. These noises are called barriers. It can be physical barriers, it can be psychological barriers as well, or it can be semantic barriers also. We shall discuss these things just now. So what are then are the types of communication? Formal communication. It is highly structured, follows hierarchy. For example, there are reports are being sent, memos are being sent, meetings are being held in organizations in formal settings. Next comes is informal communication. This is most of the time is casual and it is unstructured. For example, we have corridor conversations or canteen conversations or golf club conversations or whatever. And the conversations that take place in social media groups like WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups, etc. And the next classification when we talk about types of communication is verbal versus non-verbal communication. Verbal is all about, as you know, that you exchange the words, and non-verbal communication is about body language, conveying your emotions through body gestures. And the next aspect would be the upward communication, downward communication, and a lateral communication. Upward communication is all about from a lower rung to higher up communication. Downward communication is all about instructions passing from top to down. And lateral communication is exchanged between different people of the same hierarchical levels across the organizations. I'll look at the further clarification on formal communications. If you look at a real life example, company called Infosys. It uses formal communication through team dashboards, performance reviews, and strategic updates. So the outcome here is it maintains discipline and reduces ambiguity in goal tracking. Look at informal communication for further explanation with an example. The case here is Tata Consultancy Services, TCS. Informal networks help in quick resolution of internal issues and team bonding. And the managers often tap into informal grapevine to understand team morale. So what are then barriers of effective communication I was talking to you earlier? First one is physical barriers. Can be because of distance or environment. Second is psychological barriers. These are emotional filters, attitudinal problems, etc. Third one is semantic barriers. These are this is the confusion with regard to emblems we use and the language you use and the jargon of the language. And fourth one is organizational barriers. They're mostly centered around status differences. And the last one is cultural barriers. Because of you today we have a what you call multicultural backdrops where employees of different countries join together in multinational companies. So there may be some different backgrounds and values which may filter the communication free flow. That's called as a cultural barrier. Let's look at a case study of a communication failure. Most of you know that Nokia, it's a pre-Microsoft acquisition company. The problem is with regard to Nokia is lack of communication between top management and software developers. The result is that delay in adopting to Android, leading to a major market share loss and ultimately sold out to Microsoft for acquisition. Let's look at another interesting case study of communication success. A company called Google, and most admired for open communication culture. Weekly TGIF, often called, meaning thank God it's Friday meetings. Employees at all levels share ideas and feedback. The outcome is high innovation and employee satisfaction reported. So the importance of communication in management. Needless to say that it builds trust and transparency. It enhances team collaboration. It helps in conflict resolution. It ensures proper delegation and execution. And it drives motivation and morale. The key takeaways of this module: communication is essential for all managerial functions. Both formal and informal networks play a very important role. Removing barriers enhances efficiency and trust. And very strong communication leads to stronger leadership and teamwork. That brings us to the end of the module 14, communication. As we have seen, the communication is not just about speaking. It's about connecting, sharing purpose, and inspiring action. From the shop floor to the boardroom, great managers are great communicators. Stay tuned for our next module 15 on motivation and employee engagement in the continuing lecture series on principles of management. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video, share it with your peers, and drop your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you and good luck.